Hey guys, this is Vulcan here, and I wanted to start a little series off for the channel called Zero to Hero, as the title says. Basically, I want to do these duels and point out the negatives and the things that I can improve on to kind of get better over the course of playing, and as time goes on, I'll definitely improve. So, get started here. I'm fighting a guy with curved swords, and I'm already noticing that I'm being a little bit too aggressive into his swings instead of punishing whiffs, which I should definitely do. I feel like I switched to the dagger because I was a little scared of using the peeler because I felt like it was too slow. Right there, I tried to use some incantations to catch him off guard, and I tried to go for the parry, but that was a really good count on his part. The flip back. So usually that catches people off guard. The black flame itself, or the black death, or bladed death itself, catches people off guard. And I've gotten a few during practices to get recordings right. I gotten a few matches where I got some pretty good hits with that. So this guy here, he's going to be using the Knight Rider's glaive, or Knight's Cavalry glaive. Here I go with the scoring black flame, thinking that he's going to be aggressive and come into me, take some damage, because he has poise. I noticed that. So I tried to be a little aggressive there with an R1, thinking he was going to roll away so I can roll catch him. Then instead it got turned on me with Giant Hunt. So I'm trying to really read him and see what he's doing in terms of how he's moving. And I really feel like he's in and out, like hit and run with the glaive, which is definitely good. But he's switching weapons to accommodate my playstyle, which I really don't. I think that's like my weakness with this build right now. I really don't have any other weapons. I'm gonna level up the Stitcher, the God Skin Stitcher, but I haven't done that yet. Get another running attack. I try to be aggressive with another running attack poke, but because of poise, it doesn't stagger him, and I have to be very careful of poise. So I switched to the parry shield to try to bait a parry from a running attack, but again, I think he saw that coming, and there he is, he's aggressive. So whenever I hit him with the bladed death, I felt like I should have, maybe instead of rolling away, I should have rolled through him, so the running attack that I felt like was coming, or the aggression that I felt was coming, would have went right past me, and I would have been able to counter attack. He was burning. He probably would have burned for a bit more of his health, and I could have probably been aggressive with another bladed death. This guy, on the other hand, though, he's definitely been playing for a while. I can tell, because he's doing some good maneuvers and tech with backstepping. The only real way I feel like I could have countered this build is if I would have went full bait with parries, because after looking back on it, I could definitely read the fact that he was going for running attacks a lot, and that could have definitely opened up into an opportunity for a parry with my dagger, and that could have given me some more pressure and could have flipped the tables onto him for him to change up the way he has to play. It does seem like a go for here, but I wasn't confident, and I get punished for it. That was a good play on his part. There's nothing really wrong with that. It's really nice to try to fight heavy thrusting swords. I don't really see them as often as like regular rapiers, especially with that shield too. This guy was a really fun fight. He's using the Rotted Great Axe, which I've only seen like twice so far. Though again, another poise build, which I already now have fought a few poise boys. A little bit of stutter there in the game. So I notice he goes in. I can get an R1 off on him as a punish. punishes mid buff. I'm pretty sure that was the damage reduction buff as well as the bleed reduction. Because right now I switched my peeler to a bleed with the double strike Ash of War, or double slash. So I know he noticed he did three attacks. He can do 3. I got caught with it, so I'm learning from that. Just trying to space him, you know, put some pressure on him differently than just attacking, because I know he's looking for that trade. Especially since great axes are not that good. Goes in. I go for a jumping attack, R1, delayed R1. Try to get that roll catch on that. Go for another poke. And right there, I think my issue was I was getting a little nervous about the Scarlet Rot build-up because I didn't have very many consumables to take care of that. So it was definitely putting pressure up on me. It should have been a backstab, I feel like, but... So I go in, he punishes, again, poise, he punishes my attack. I go back in for a punish, a little bit too aggressive and too greedy with that. It was good on his part for using a weaker weapon than the peeler. But that was pretty good. Poise is really tough, especially as a lightweight dex build. This guy had to be the most unique build I've seen the whole time I was playing. He is using a Thorn Sorcery build, and I kind of figure from his name. But he's using like Blood Flame, you know, Arcane, Thorn Sorceries. So I did that to cover up my attack, which it seemed to work. I didn't expect him at the time to cast that when I saw him. I thought he was just going to use like some basic sorceries, but try to scare him with the Catch Flame. So I wanted to do this to combo it with the Blade of Death, but I honestly did not set up properly, which was kind of silly on my part. I nick him with that, which is good. I'm just trying to be really careful of his free aim bleed spells, because not only does it bleed, but also slows me and makes my rolling heavy. Being a little too aggressive. He actually catches me with this here, because I thought he was going for this one right here, but we ended up trading. If I didn't use that item to summon those orbs to attack him, the magic, I would have definitely been in a better position for that fight. This guy here, he's definitely using a Madness build. We both put on Black Flame's protection. I just keep rolling back from that. Punish him with the Blade of Death. Trying to keep my distance to keep forcing him to cast spells, because I can keep punishing him with the Blade of Death. That's what that's really good for, I figured out. Try to go for a parry, but didn't really get that timing down on that right. He goes for the Vikes, Ash of War. I go for another Blade of Death to get some more aggression. Go for another one, thinking he's going to run in with a running attack, but he doesn't. He clips me here with Madness. As Madness is building up on me, even though he's, you know, just like any other thing with bleed and everything, it still builds up even though they don't really connect the hit. So I was so focused on his Madness build up that I wasn't paying attention to my FP, and I go to punish him, but again, I'm not watching my resources. I should definitely be watching my resources. Thankfully he did a full charge on that. Again, he's mixing up his timings, which is really good too, because I can't just spam roll. He goes for the weapon Ash of War again, and my burn ends up cleaning him up. These are good fights so far. Even though I lost a few, it was still good fights. I'm learning as I do this, and that's the kind of the point of this first video. It's kind of going to be more of a raw, not heavily edited type videos just so I can give commentary over and mess around with it a bit. I'm just looking at some people here to summon. This guy had daggers, and it was interesting because he's the only one I've seen all night with daggers. I've been probably PvPing for about a half hour now at this point. I didn't really see any like super meta invaded in like duels, like people with like, say, Bloodhound Step or, you know, Rivers of Blood. I didn't really see any of that all night. Thankfully, there's people with more unique builds. Though I did run into a few great sword, ultra great sword, you know, crouch poke. That's like because it's the only really viable attack they have. It was a little rough fighting those builds, but throwing Black Flame Protection here. I thought he used his flask, and I thought I had the bubble too. For a moment there, but I catch him with a free aim, Scouring Flame. It's interesting with the daggers because he has a lot more poison than I do, and he has a parry tool. I see using the Beast Claw. I think that's what that called. What's that called? I punish him. He pulls out the Ultra Great Sword, and now I'm like trying to keep my distance. And there it is. There's a cleanup. Well, this is my build. It's not finalized yet. I'm probably gonna go to 125 and mess with some more stuff. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think below about this. You know, I just really wanted to put this out here for people who may be just starting off the same as me. Want to know my thoughts as a person who's just getting into the PvP. And stay tuned next time, guys, and like and subscribe. Later.